Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure to be up here and part of the Green Party convention. My name is Jason Wallace. I'm the Green Party candidate for the 11th Congressional District of Illinois. I'm running in what's been labeled one of the top 5 most competitive House races in the United States. I'm facing both the Democratic Congressional Coordinating Committee as well as the Republican Party. They have what's been labeled 2 strong candidates, but both of them fall into pay-to-play politics. And in my campaign, we're running a clean campaign, a true green grassroots campaign. My campaign, we are capping our spending at $10,000. So we're calling our campaign the 10K08. And this is to raise issue to the fact of how much money is wasted in our elections every year. Both of my candidates combined have about $2 million that they've raised. And if you look at the presidential candidates for both parties, it's gone in the millions of dollars, and I think this is a waste of taxpayers' money as well as our own money. How is it that candidates that raise so much money is helping people out is beyond me. To me, we need to actually focus on helping the people out. So if and when we exceed the $10,000 spending cap, we are going to donate all leftover money after the election's over with to our local school districts, because that's a top priority for my campaign, is helping our education system that's horribly underfunded, especially in this state of Illinois. I've been involved with the Illinois Board of Higher Education, Illinois Community College Board for the past 3 years, and I've seen the funding cuts and the rise of tuition for all of our college students and the toll it takes on the middle class families. And we need to redirect our funding into our education system. And to me, it's just all we have to do is elect people that actually has the political will to help out our middle class families and everyone in America. Neither of my candidates are willing to do this. Instead, they're focused on raising money and thinking that's how you win elections. But instead, we're running a real grassroots campaign where we ask for in-kind contributions and are having volunteers help us out rather than focusing on the money grab game. Secondly, I am a member of Veterans for Peace and Iraq Veterans Against the War. I served in the military for 6 years and served in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom for 17 months, including a deployment to Kuwait in 2005. I also attended Winter Soldier, Iraq and Afghanistan, which you can go to ivaw.org/Winter Soldier and read and see the testimonies there. I was at this event collecting testimony from fellow veterans. My brothers and sisters want us out of Iraq now, and we're not going to have that with either party in power. We need to elect candidates such as myself that will end the funding of the Iraq occupation. And once we do that, we can actually address the issues of the economy. This is something I've seen within my district that's affecting everyone. The economy's in bad shape. There's no jobs. Well, I want to make Illinois the global producer of solar panels and wind turbines. We need good manufacturing, living wage jobs to come back to us and not get shipped overseas. And by making us the leading power of clean, green energy, we can actually be a producing state again. And with living wages, we can actually have a higher tax base to put money back into our infrastructure, our education, and help the American citizen out. And that's what I'll do as the next representative of this district. And again, I'm not focusing on fundraising, I'm focusing on actually meeting the people. One of my goals of the campaign is to visit every municipality by November 4th. So that way I can actually say I know what the people want and I can represent them. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 100,000 people. I will visit every town and hear what the people have to say, because that's what we need. A government for and by the people. Thank you. Well, I would say my service in the military is what made me take my stance against the occupation of Iraq. I was in the Air National Guard, so I was an Air Force veteran, and we had 3 core values that we believed in, and I still do to this day, and that's integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all that we do. And the occupation of Iraq is very unintegritous. There's absolutely no reason why I need to be there. It's an illegal occupation. The UN never said we should be there. The American people were lied to, which to me is a violation of the trust between the government and the people, and therefore we should not be there. I also have a minor in peace and conflict resolution from ISU, which is Illinois State University, and being in the military for 6 years, then with education, I decided to have a more well-rounded personality as far as being away from the military and get a different perspective on things. And I've come to believe that peace is a much better way to go about business. And we've seen that an investment in the military-industrial complex really doesn't produce good-paying jobs. Education, infrastructure is where our money needs to go to. I just completed my bachelor's degree, and I enlisted in the military so I could walk out of college debt-free. That hasn't happened. I'm looking at $30,000 in debt, and that's. I also have a brother who's 10 years older than I am, has one daughter and two nephews, or two sons, and so I also have a twin sister who has 2 kids. So I'm a proud uncle of 5, and times are not easy for them. My brother has to work 2, sometimes 3 jobs, while his wife works a full-time job, and they can't even make ends meet. I'd say it's not even, for most people, middle class or poor, it's not really a recession we're looking at. I would even say we're almost in a depression state. But the people, the disparities that are going on right now is the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer, and the middle class is almost non-existent now with the way our economy's been. And it's time for us to take money away from our defense spending and cut that down and put it back in infrastructure and education, actually I should say rebuild the middle class, because it's almost gone now, and it's up to us to take the charge and fix the economy. But at the same time, we can also address the issues of cheap or no longer cheap oil, also with the climate changes going on. You know, these are things that we can handle with fixing their economy at the same time, but there's no solutions coming from either party, and the only ones that seem to be talking about real solutions is the Green Party and those of us that are running for Congress. And that's what I think about mental recession. I think we are in a recession, and if we don't fix things, it's going to only get worse.